Hi guys, it's your girl Kiba and welcome back to my spiritual journey. I hope everyone is living well out there, being safe, keeping your hands clean, keeping your mask on, of whatever preference that you have. Today's topic is going to be about, is marriage really for you? Most people were brought up to believe that you're supposed to find your mate and be married for the rest of your life and to death do you part and things like that. You know, all the little sayings that were instilled in most of us when we were growing up. Some people grew up with their mother and father in the home and they were married and they saw the ups and downs, and some people are against marriage and some people are for marriage. So today we're going to talk about the signs to know that marriage is not for you. The first sign is you have a problem with committing. You don't want to be in a committed relationship. Commitment just not for you. You find yourself having excuses and struggling when you're with that one person that wants you to settle down and just be with them. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is just admitting it to yourself. Secondly, you have trust issues. You may have a hard time trusting the opposite sex or your partner or whichever. You just might not. And it may not be something that you have done, but it could be something that someone has done to you, or it could be some things that you experienced in your past, or it could be something that you experienced growing up and that you saw in your household with your parents or even other relatives. Third, you will notice that you are all about you all the time. Everything centered around you all the time. You don't have no consideration of others' opinions, their feelings, or anything. You solely just care about how you're feeling and what you want to do. Kind of like a little selfish, So that's something to look at. Fourth, you see marriage in a negative way. You may say, oh, why I gotta get a marriage certificate, or why I gotta get married? It ain't nothing but a piece of paper. It don't mean anything. So you see it all in a negative way, and it could have been, again, some things that you experienced. It could be some things that you saw, growing up or with your friends. A lot of people see other people's marriages and feel like, oh, I don't want to be like that. Or I don't want to be tied down to one person. So if you have those negative thoughts, that's another sign that marriage is just not for you. Fifth, you're solely convinced, because it is a high rate, you're solely convinced that all marriages end in a divorce. You end up in a divorce court, and some people don't want to go through that. But that's another thing. If that's the way you feel, this might be another sign for you. You are married to your career. That's another sign. You're so wrapped up, oh, I got to always at work, always got to go back to school. You just all wrapped up in just your career. And that's another sign that marriage might not be for you. Because if you find that special someone and someone wants to spend the rest of their lives with you, if you're wrapped up all in your career, then you won't have time for your spouse, marriage, kids, or anything else. Another thing is, it's some people who have different beliefs and different cultures. So you might be against that. You might not be into that. Some people are born into a culture where their parents pick their spouse for them. Some people are born in a culture where you find your mate. That might not be your lifestyle. So that's another sign that marriage is just not for you. Another one is, you're always happy on your own. You happy doing things by yourself, living by yourself, hanging out by yourself, traveling by yourself, eating by yourself. You might just be happy just the way you are with you. You into just you. That's another sign that marriage might not be for you. When opportunities come about, you may have the idea perfect woman in front of you, or the idea perfect man in front of you, and you come up with all type of excuses and to not be with them or not propose to them. Then you have all that pressure of friends and family. When you gonna settle down? And you will notice that don't interest you. So these are some things to look into within self. And just know that if marriage is not for you, it's okay. That's the thing that you got to get through your mind. And for others who feel like that you just have to be married. Again, marriage is not for everyone. So these are just a few top signs that you can look into and just notice about yourself to know if it's something that will fit for you. Now, if you know that marriage is not for you, then when you're out here dating, that's what you should talk about on your first few dates. Get to know if this person wants to get married or have an idea of if this is something that you want to move forward with. Because if you're a person that don't want to get married and this person does, it's not fair to string a person along for years knowing that you're not going to marry them. So when you out here looking or not looking, just make sure that question comes about. And for the ones who do want to get married and see marriage in their future, that's another question you should be asking as well. And if you run into a person that says, no, I'm not interested in getting married, I don't want to get married, then that's your sign right there as well that this is not the person for you. I think a lot of times what people do is they look at what someone is telling them and feel like, oh, I'm going to change their mind. They're going to want to marry me, or they're going to want to change and be with me. You can't do that to people. You got to start listening. If someone tells you that is what they want or don't want, you need to listen to that and respect what they are saying. So, the question is, after looking at this video, is marriage really for you? Is that something that's in your future? Do you feel like that it's just not for you? I thank you guys for joining me on my spiritual journey. I look forward to looking at the comments and seeing what you guys got next and you want me to research and talk about. If you have any ideas, just reach out to me through email and I will get right on it for you. You guys have a great day and thank you for joining me on my spiritual journey. Bye-bye.